I don't know what next week will be, but if you want to get a chance to pick what the lore is, there's a link in the description below to our Discord. Please join. Tuesday, Wednesday, I will ask the question. Whoever gets it right first picks this week's lore, which Lamp has chosen. This is open to everybody. All you have to do is join the Discord. This week's lore, Lamp chose John Hancock. So again, we're doing another companion from Fallout 4.
Yep.
So I want to just preface this with, this isn't so much the wiki's fault. This is the writing of Fallout 4's fault. Mayor McDonough's never given a first name.
His first name's Mayor?
Yeah, so I'm going to refer to him as Mayor as if he's like Mayor Hawthorne. And I will refer to John. I will refer to as John McDonough as John McDonough until the transition to Hancock. But yeah, Mayor McDonough just doesn't have a name. So,
wait, Mayor McDonough is... Wait, I didn't know they were related.
Yeah. So listen, John Hancock, born John McDonough, had a tumultuous relationship with his brother. And then I have written here, Mayor McDonough doesn't have a first name. John says that his brother was very entitled and he used to shove old potatoes down the back of his shirt and then squish them. By 2282, Mayor McDonough ran for mayor of Diamond City.
First name Mayor.
First name Mayor. He ran on an anti-ghoul platform. This created hatred and animosity between the citizens that were mutated and the other citizens that were not mutated, and kind of ramped up the whole synth thing.
Yeah.
Of the whole, oh, they're coming for us, and they're not people type argument that was being made within Diamond City. Confronted him after his inauguration speech and kind of said how disappointed he was in his brother. And the now Mayor McDonough had like no remorse for what he did. He was just like,
sorry, brother, you're just not people.
He's human at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Hold on. We'll get into how he becomes. So that's another thing that I'm not huge on with Hancock is that he's not a ghoul from jump. But like not he becomes a ghoul, but like I'm not upset because it's like, well, how come he could turn into a ghoul that quick? Moira Brown turns into a ghoul almost instantly, and I'm pretty sure the citizens of Necropolis turned into ghouls fairly quick anyway.
Mm-hmm. So
didn't
Necropolis happen over like a span of like a week, like a couple days?
I don't know if it's a week. I want to say it's within 20 years, which is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, really isn't a long time.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like imagine just mutating. Like I think 20 years to mutate. Like I'm not saying 20 years your hair turns a different color, it falls out. This is you mutate. Your DNA has become different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 20 years.
I've been mutating over the course of like 2 years.
But have you? Has your DNA changed?
No, it has.
So then you're not a mutant. You're a freak, but you're not a mutant. So he confronts his brother about this and he's like, dude, what the fuck? And Mayor McDonough is just kind of self-congratulatory and says that the city pretty much is his. Like, he doesn't feel bad about this. Like, he's just like, yes, it is mine now. Am the mayor. It is
my Diamond City.
Yeah. So then John McDonough tries to relocate as many ghouls as possible to Good Neighbor, but it's controlled by mob boss Vic.
Is his first name Mob Boss?
Well, on the wiki it says Mob Boss Vic, and you can click on Vic, and it takes you to another wiki page. But I didn't click on Mob Boss because I assumed it was going to take me to a page about titles. Are you on the wiki?
It takes you to the Triggerman.
Oh, okay. So he was a Triggerman.
Yes.
Fine. He controlled Good Neighbor. many of the ghouls that he took, many of the people that he took, not even just ghouls, but just the people that came with him, couldn't acclimate, and they wound up leaving Goodneighbor, and they fled into the ruins of Boston, and they mostly succumbed to violence and starvation. There's a quick little passage I want to read that's directly from Hancock. He says in game, should I read this in a ghoul voice?
Could you please? It really helps.
I've been sneaking off to Goodneighbor for years to get decent chems, so I knew the safe routes. Managed to track down a couple of the families, lead them there. But most couldn't get used to the Goodneighbor lifestyle. I brought them food for a couple weeks, but after that they just disappeared.
Haven't done that in a while. Thanks.
For being out of practice, you're very.
I mean,
very good.
That wasn't Ron.
Yeah. It was a completely different,
Yeah. He fell into a deep depression and started to abuse drugs and alcohol even more. He then tried to use an experimental drug that was radioactive to turn himself into a ghoul, and he said that it was, quote, so worth it.
So worth it?
Yeah, to turn himself into a ghoul. One of the triggers for the depression getting as bad as it got is that he saw a drifter get murdered by Vic and he didn't stand in. Now, the wiki claims that he knew he couldn't do anything about it, but just the fact that it was a defenseless person.
Mm-hmm. That he, was so desensitized that he couldn't, do that.
He was just fucked up that he didn't, jump in and try to help. He felt
guilty.
Yeah, he felt a ton of guilt because of this. He went on a massive bender. And I'm even looking at the quote right now, and it says, I felt like less than nothing. Afterwards, I got so high I blacked out completely. Which sounds like it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, when you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, that's something that happens on the regular.
But your mental space surrounding it could be different.
But the fact that he just blacked out completely, most people that go on benders regularly because they have a substance abuse problem, black out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I wasn't. He eventually woke up lying on the old State House floor next to a replica set of John Hancock's clothing. One of the founding fathers of America, he took the clothing and the name Hancock. He vowed to get together a revolutionary army and overthrow Vic. He grabbed some drifters and had Cleo even loan him some weapons. Now, I think Cleo was one of the best characters in 4.
I love how she was just like, give me money, I give you gun.
Yeah,
that was just kind of it, and I really liked the one-noteness.
I like me a strong woman, even if she's a robot.
Especially when that woman is made of metal.
Yeah. Hancock and his militia gathered where Vic and his crew congregated, waited for them to get incredibly intoxicated, and then massacred Vic and his boys. So here's a quote from Hancock himself that, again, I get all my lore off fallout.fandom.com. This is a quote from Hancock right off the wiki. So the night of, we all got loaded, let Vic's boys get good and hammered, and burst from the windows and rooftops where we've been hiding. They never saw it coming. We didn't have to fire a shot. We didn't have to. But we sure fucking did. It was a massacre. Looking down from the balcony where he hung Vic. So he took Vic and hung him from a balcony. From the balcony, which I'm pretty sure is...
like
hangings.
Yeah.
So...
turn him into a human disco ball.
Yes, I think it's from the balcony where he gives that speech when you get to Goodneighbor 2.
Yeah.
And he looked down at from the balcony, he looked down and to see that most of the town had gathered to see what was going on. And he shouted, of the people, for the people. And at that point, he was no longer John McDonough and became John Hancock and became the mayor of Goodneighbor. In 2287, Hancock is still mayor. Most citizens look up to him. And after Bobby No-No's heist attempt, he feels too safe. What's that?
I just like Bobby
Bobby
No-Nos.
No-Nos, yeah. He feels too safe. Oh, the sole survivor says to him, why would you want to leave Good Neighbor?
For one, you pulled a job on me. That means I'm getting too comfortable. Need to get out there and hone my razor. For two, Good Neighbor is about doing your own thing. And if you don't leave every once in a while, the power is going to change me. Can't have that.
So,
I think that's a pretty like enlightened perspective.
yeah.
Like if you're doing the same thing, you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna go soft.
A bowler staying there is going to do nothing but make an indent and stay there longer.
Right.
But that's pretty much him. There's a couple
What
things.
about his companion quests? I've like never done his companion quest at all.
I think that's the companion quest. Do Bobby No-Noses, and then you get him.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm not seeing like a companion quest here, to be honest. I didn't write anything. Like normally they'll tell you, like with Curie, Curie had one.
It was really spelled out.
You know what I mean? Like this didn't say, I'm even on the page right now. There is nothing on here that describes what his quest is. The last thing on here is it says Mayor of Good Neighbor, and it ends with the sole survivor can now use him as a possible companion.
I guess that's it.
So,
I'm looking at his concept art. It's grisly.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Here's some things that I'll read off real quick. He's also in the Fallout the board game. He's a companion there. If Finn is killed by the sole survivor, Hancock will be rather calm and applaud the player character. He recognizes Nick from Diamond City. The upper floor of the memory den, the player character can break into Irma's terminal and read about Hancock that states, well, let's just say if you thought he was handsome and dangerous now, you should have seen him before he turned into a ghoul. According to Deacon, Hancock turns
that seems a little bit ghoul-phobic.
Do you think so?
A little bit.
I don't think so. Well, let's just say if you
No?
thought he was handsome and dangerous now, you should have saw him before he turned into a ghoul. She wants a ghoul.
I mean, don't you?
No.
That's fair.
No. So, before you cut me off, according to Deacon, Hancock turns a blind eye to the railroad's activities in Good Neighbor. This can also be noted by the existence of a Join the Railroad holotape on his coffee table. If taken to Vault 81, some of the residents there will insult him, to which he'll reply with a witty remark. Doesn't say what it is, but it says that's there. If one has him around after completing In Sheep's Clothing, he will express regret for being wrongly angry with his brother because his brother was a synth.
That's actually cool. I didn't know about that.
Piper refers to him as her second least favorite mayor. Haha, I love her.
That is funny.
Sometimes if the player character fires a few random bullets, Hancock will say, wait, you see him too? Here's something that really bothered me. Really bothered me. You know how I feel about a lot of the decisions that were made for Fallout 4. At one point during development, Hancock was not marked as essential and could be killed normally. Unused commentary from Finn alludes to this fact.
But then he was made into a companion.
Yeah. According to
wait, you see him too? That's so funny.
According to a relationship marker in the game files, Fahrenheit is Hancock's daughter. This is never alluded to in game. I have no clue who Fahrenheit is.
Wait, that sounds familiar. Fahrenheit?
I read that correctly, right? I'm looking it up now. Hold on, watch. It's going to be like Fahrenheit, the Imperial version of thing.
Where's that under?
I've never seen this. Fahrenheit is a bodyguard of John Hancock. It's in behind the scenes. It says that it's cut, but it's in the games file, but they never talk about it.
Huh.
A serious-looking woman, Fahrenheit is a scarred, tough mercenary, the type that shoots first and asks questions later. Extremely loyal to her boss, she values trust above everything else. As a typical good neighbor resident,
this NPC.
she will do anything, even if it means lethal force, to serve her boss and her community.
Huh.
She has the Ash Maker. The minigun. I don't remember her. She's got a super sick Fallout Shelter Online art. Because why would we want that in America?
Whoa, it does look cool. Oh, and Hancock's behind her.
Well, she's the bodyguard. That's wild to think that's his daughter.
She's kind of hot.
Okay.
Just saying. In the Fallout Shelter Online art, come on. Look at that little smirk.
I don't know, dude. Drawings don't really do anything for me.
Well, your loss.
Okay. That's Hancock.
That's lore.
That's lore. Anything you want to say before I end it?
I didn't really spend a lot of time with Hancock, so I don't really know anything about him except like that he was kind of a grumpy old bitch.
Wow. Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't really use him all that much. He was just kind of, all right, now that you're mine, go to my settlement and I'll get you later.
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you, Hancock. Now go to the castle.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know I always kept Kate or Curie with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes Nick if I needed something done.
Yeah.
But usually Kate because I'm just wrong.